Alright, so what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing the AC mod, is what it's commonly called. Basically all you're going to do is you're going to be installing a valve in a heater hose, or in my case 2 heater hoses, to block off flow of coolant to the heater core. I'll explain why we do this in a second. There's 2 different valves you can use, and there's a million varieties of them from every auto parts store and manufacturer out there. I'm using the Motorcraft one from Rangers. Now this valve did come on some Super Duties from the factory, so make sure you don't already have it. And the one that came from the factory on Super Duties is a little different. It was just harder for me to track that one down, so I found the one I knew that I could get. It's the same thing, just one more hose is involved. It's no big deal. I'll explain everything when we get there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here and grab the 2 heater hoses going to the heater. Alright, so these are all the parts you need. You're going to need a couple heater hoses, some vacuum hose. I'm using an F piece right here, but you can use a T or whatever you'd like. And this, most importantly, is the valve. You can see the part number here is YG350, or you can type in that obnoxious Ford part number if you want, but you don't have to. YG350. I got this off Amazon, but any major parts store will have it or an equivalent. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's got 2 inlets, 2 outlets. You can also get a flow-through one that just goes in one hose, and that's what would come standard on a Super Duty. I'll explain why I have a problem with that one and why I chose this one. Other than that, this one was easier to find. But let me explain to you how this one works. So your 2 hoses connect here, from the engine, or your water pump into your engine, and then they go to the heater core over here. And so then when a vacuum is applied here, there's a diaphragm that moves this little lever like that, and it blocks it off and just reroutes it back through here instead of through here like normal. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So I'll give you a view on the other side. They come in here and then they move down here, but when that thing's actuated, it just circulates. Okay, so right here you can see the 2 heater hoses. This is one of them that goes into the water pump. The other one goes down here into the side of the block. So we have the 2 heater hoses right here, and you can see they work their way back to the heater core. So what we're going to do is right there behind the intercooler pipe, down by the exhaust, we're going to cut and place the valve, and I will show you that right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 cuts in those hoses, one cut each actually. I'm just going to use a sophisticated cutting device, trauma shears, because I have them lying around all over the place. I'm sure you can get some kind of actual hose cutting device that makes a nice clean cut. I know for sure these aren't going to make a clean cut just because of the way the material is. I've done it before. But it'll get the job done. Okay, so what's happening is, this is coming from the head, this one right here. This one goes to the water pump, and then it flows through. Now, when you don't have the valve in place, or when the valve is open, it continues to flow through the heater core. When this valve is actuated, it just loops it back around and goes back right to where it came from. So right now we're under the dash on the passenger side, and I have a kick panel right here, so I've taken that off. I've also removed the glove box, just so it's easier to get cameras down here, but you don't have to do that. So right here, you'll see a little vacuum cylinder, and then this white hose right here that connects to it. So go ahead and disconnect that white hose, and I've already run my vacuum line. I'll show you where I ran it, but so I've got an F connector you can kind of see right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the foot end of it and connect it to that vacuum container, and then the factory white line onto one leg of the F, and then my line is on the other leg of the F. Okay, so you can see that. And so what that does is that effectively just shares the vacuum. Whenever the white line gets vacuum, then that black line's gonna get vacuum, and that's what we want. You could tee into the line as well. I just did this. It's no cuts. It's a little easier for me. So let me go ahead and show you. You can see the black line kind of runs up there. Let me show you where it runs to. So I've run the line already, and it's really hard to show you where it is, but this will give you an idea. So this is behind the glove box, and what I've done is you can kind of see, let me turn this light off. So you see that light back there? That's actually where the heater hose comes into the cab. And so you feed it in this way from the engine bay. It's actually not too hard to fit through. You feed it through, reach your hand up through the bottom of the glove box, and just feel around until you get burned. Once you get sufficiently burned, you know you're in the right place. Find your line, pull it down, and then you can connect it. It's pretty easy. I'll show you on the other side too. Okay, so you can see here the vacuum line is attached, and it just goes back here with the coolant hoses right through the firewall.